It's Sunday the 2nd of February in the Vendée Globe, the skipper's 84th day at sea, and we are expecting Romain Attanasio to finish 14th before midday. He has under 40 nautical miles to go. At the same time, Yannick Bestaven, who was the winner of the 2020 edition of the race, is going to arrive in Les Sables. He's had to retire as he needed outside assistance for various issues he had on his boat. But he has decided to sail back, and being the previous winner, he will receive a hero's welcome. Also, Clarisse Cremer has made her way round from La Rochelle, and she received a fantastic welcome in Les Sables. And then we hear from Kojiro Shiraishi. This is an update from yesterday, and he was convinced he was going to be going to the northwest of the Azores, but I'm less sure about that, looking at what the wind systems are going to be doing and the way he's pointing this morning. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And then we take a look at the tracker, the leaderboard, and also get an update from Oliver Heer.
This afternoon in bright sunshine, Clarisse Cremer finally entered Les Sables d'Olonne. After finishing 11th in the Vendée Globe on Monday, Clarisse headed to La Rochelle to shelter from the storm. This Vendée Globe was a real gift. Wonderful. Obviously, there were some tough moments. It's never all smooth sailing, but it exceeded my expectations. I'm delighted. I fought to be in it and battled hard at sea. No regrets. It was awesome. Romain Attanasio and Yannick Bestaven will be the next to land tomorrow afternoon. It's going nicely. I'm sailing fast and the sea's lovely. The boat's surfing, driven on by a little following swell and with the wind on the beam. Honestly, it's not bad at all. I hope I can ascend the channel Sunday afternoon. I can't wait to finish. It's not always been easy to sail back single-handed, but out of the race.
My feelings today or about the whole Vendée Globe? Well, it's mainly joy. It's super nice to be here. I'm super happy to be finally in Vendée, in Les Sables. And I'm super proud also of all what we have managed to do with the team. This boat just managed to be on the finish line, and it's not only my job. It's not only my work. It's the whole work of a team. So super proud, super happy, and it's great to be here.
And what about your race, your second Vendée Globe on foiler?
Yeah, it was relentless. It was super hard sometimes because you never can rest for a minute, otherwise you lose on your other competitors. And when you have an issue, you wonder how you're going to deal with this issue without slowing down, which is not always easy because this boat easily go very fast. So it was, but I was quite happily surprised by how I managed to live on this boat even when it was going so fast, and I managed to sleep well and to eat well, and it was a huge success for me to manage to find my balance like that.
Merci.
Merci à vous.
はい、2月1日です。もう2月に入ってしまいましたね。残念ながら船はアゾーレス高気圧ですね。はい、船が止まってます。スコールが来るとね、ちょっと走るんですけど、またストップということで、早くこの、アゾレスハイを抜けて、アゾレスの北を回ってね、帰りたいと思います。もうちょっと我慢ですね。で、今日はね、なんか俺疲れてるんだよね。なんでだろう。今日はね、なんかちょっと疲れて、疲れがどっと出た感じでね。まあスコールもあってなかなかうまく休みもできないんですけども、しっかり食べて、食料がだいぶ余りますんでね、しっかり食べて、あと1週間ぐらいですかね、乗り切れるように頑張っていきたいと思います。今日は、この私が、疲れ気味なコーチでございました。でもね、最後まで頑張りますよ。それでは元気よくチャオ。
On the tracker at 0700 hours UTC, we can see that Romain Attanasio only has 35.5 nautical miles to go, and travelling at 11.1 knots, we're going to expect him in before midday. At the same time, Yannick Bestaven, while abandoned from the race, will receive a hero's welcome because he was the winner of the 2020 edition of the Vendée Globe. The leaders of that tight group from 15th to 22nd have now entered the Bay of Biscay, rounding Cape Finisterre, and are led by Damien Seguin. But they are going to enter some light winds coming up, and if we take a look forward 24 hours, we can see these become headwinds, which could favour the daggerboard boats. At the moment, the leader of the daggerboard boats overall in the race is Benjamin Ferret. And there are some interesting options going on. If we look, Conrad Coleman is the most southerly boat, and then Giancarlo Pedote is taking a far more northerly route. So we're going to see how this plays out as they approach the finish line in Les Sables d'Olonne. Things are getting very interesting with the group from 23rd onwards. If we take a look, Guirec Saudet is going to the northwest of the Azores exclusion zone. But take a look at this group led by Kojiro Shiraishi. It looks like they're aiming to that southeast corner. And if we take a look forward in the weather forecast to 24 hours, we can see prevailing winds to that southeastern tip. And so this could be interesting and could see them effectively cut the corner. In 28th place is Arnaud Boissier, but he is heading at the moment towards the Caribbean. So with his Liberty kite, after being dismasted, he's yet to officially retire. So still showing on the leaderboard. Then we have Antoine Cornic, who's in those northeasterly trade winds in the northern hemisphere. Next to cross the equator should be Oliver Heer in 30th, followed by Jinkun Zhu in 31st. And we have to go quite a bit further back in the South Atlantic to get the final three in the Vendée Globe, and that is Manuel Cousin, Fabrice Amadeo and Dennis van Weenberg. On the leaderboard at 0600 UTC, we're going to take a look at this group from 15th to 22nd place. Damien Seguin, who's in 15th place, has averaged 18.48 knots over the last 24 hours, and has 272 nautical miles to go, but is going to have those light winds and headwinds to contend with, so speeds are going to slow. Giancarlo Pedote, who's in 22nd currently, but taking that northern option, could provide more breeze for him. Will he be able to make up some places? But look at Conrad Coleman there in 21st, currently doing just under 20 knots and averaging over 17 knots in 24 hours. He's going to have a really tight battle with Jean Le Cam in 20th. I know he would love to make it into the top 20 overall.
Hello everyone, it's Ollie on board Toot Good on another beautiful day of sailing. It will be my last full day in the southern hemisphere. If I show you outside, it's absolutely beautiful. About 10 knots of wind, so very light, kind of broad reaching, heading due north towards the equator. And the next 2 days will be quite interesting sailing wise. So I want to quickly show you what's on the menu. First of all, I am passing in a couple of hours the island of Fernando de Noronha. It's a Brazilian island. And I will pass quite close to it, about 20 miles away. So that will be the first step for me to pass this island. Once I've passed Fernando de Noronha, my next goal will be then to cross the equator, which is marked as waypoint number 1, 260 miles north of me. Once I'm in the northern hemisphere, then I head straight to waypoint number 2, due north, which is kind of the beginning of the trade winds of the northern hemisphere, which is a northeasterly wind. At the moment, I'm still sailing in a southeasterly wind, and this transition zone is very, very tricky to navigate. Now, if we overlay the wind into our software, you can see that I'm now just leaving the southeasterly trade winds behind me, the trade winds of the southern hemisphere. And at waypoint number 2, I will be entering the northeasterly trade winds. But in between these next 2 days, it's a transition phase on the equator with very, very little wind, normally big thunderclouds. So the next 2 days will definitely be interesting and exciting to sail. And then it's quite steady winds, which should carry me all the way up to the Azores. I hope that was interesting for you guys. Wishing you all a great weekend, and I'll give you an update again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching today. We're going to continue bringing you the latest news of the Vendée Globe, especially with so many finishers coming towards the line. So please do subscribe to our channel using the button down here, and take a look at sailworld.com and yachtsandyachting.com for all the latest news in the world of sailing.